she hasn't been able to really fall in love and make a commitment. She's always has some type of I hate to use the term wall, but she has something, some kind of a security gate that comes up or something. It just starts out and then it's shut. And that's why I said I wanted my marriage with Carrie to work, because it didn't work with Andy, and I didn't want her, either one of my children, to think that, oh, relationships they just come and go. They're just because they felt the pain of it going. And who wants to live their life in pain? So, and I think that her art, when she started doing her humanoids, her puppets, you can definitely, especially that first movie that she did, why is it?
Is it Box?
Boxed. Yeah, Boxed. Oh, do you know that to this day, I get chills when I watch that? And the first few times I watched it, first couple of times I actually had to leave the room. I retched because it just tore me apart. Because she had told me the story prior to seeing it, and to know that your daughter was in that position, and no wonder she doesn't. It's hard to trust. It is. It's hard to make yourself vulnerable. I'm finding that out now myself, so I totally get it. But Shelly says to me that I'm far more courageous, adventurous, and open than she is. She immediately will make excuses. You know, she did that with Ned. You know, oh, he's a caveman. He's a bear. He's a this. He's a that. But he's a man, and men are different. But she just didn't. I think having a son has allowed her to embrace the male gender more than any man ever has.
Do you wish she prioritized partnership more, or do you worry about this for her?
I do. You know, when she told me about breaking up with Nick, I tried to talk her out of it. And I because I remember when she told me she was pregnant, and my first response was, well, when are you gonna have the abortion? That was my first response, rather than being excited to be a grandma, because she had hurt me, you know, by saying, I don't want to get married, I don't want to have children. She'd already had an abortion. Now and now she's pregnant, and what? She go, no, Nick and I decided we're gonna make a family. This is my last shot. But I didn't know you wanted to make a family. Well, yeah, we, you know, and then to go through all of it, and then to give up again, you know. I think she has your friend in Santa Barbara, Michael and Jessica, right? She told me that she had called and talked to him, and he goes, what are you doing? You know, you've got to think this through. But anyway, I was upset with her. She was upset with me. We weren't, probably the first time in our relationship, there was a rift. And it was because I really thought she was going through menopause, and that she was having like a hormonal dip, right? And she was acting irrational. Just, I wrote, they had gotten married, and right after she told me that they were going to split up, I don't know what it was, but I had a card for her, whether it was birthday or I don't know. And I mailed it to her, and when she got it, she called me up. She hadn't even opened it. And she called me up and she raked me over the coals. And I, well, what, how dare you make that card out to Genevieve Mastandrea? I am not a Mastandrea. And I went, but you're married? She said, I never took his name. And I said, well, you never told me that. I didn't do it to offend you. I'm so sorry. She was just, she really became Ola. She lashed out like my mom used to. And I was just like, so I was more concerned about her mental well-being at that time than anything else. Because she had a baby and a young boy, and I didn't know where she was coming from. Because normally she would confide in me, and I didn't know how she went from being, now I knew they were going to counseling, right? I knew that, and I knew that things about Nick she didn't like, but I never thought it would drive her to